Okay, hi. We're just doing our second case. We're in the advanced cases, second class, first case, our second case study, really the first. And we just have to go through the steps to put together a reasonable interpretation, and we'll just learn as we go. Okay, so always you've got to just re-identify the natal chart. Here we have someone with their sun in Cancer, up in the 10th house, not afflicted. He's no difficult aspects. So having the career, working, being responsible, it's a strong issue for him. Okay, that's a natural issue, career stuff. His Mercury's in the 10th house too, with a Gemini midheaven. So but his Mercury is part of his affliction. The Mercury square the moon in the 7th house and the Jupiter in the 1st, and his ideas. So has a capacity to exaggerate or worry too much. Like there's a puzzle of always trying to understand the Mercury, the Jupiter, and the Moon, the family, the past, its demands, 7th house relationship, career, and his understanding, his outlook, his where he wants to, what his dreams, what his opinions, what he wants to do, what he needs to do, and what he thinks he should do, what he thinks he has to do. So that's his T-square, but he's the Aries, there's the Cancer moon, both planets above the horizon, and that moon in Aries is impulsive, impatient, going to do things. It's sensitive and impulsive. It has the two sides. Want to do things, want to prove things, and sensitive. With the moon in Aries, in the 7th house. Yeah, okay, and then I'm just glancing at it. His personal motivation is Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. It's in the 1st house, conjunct Uranus. You can see the excitement, the potential for knowing astrology, doing astrology, being the counselor, advising people. It's really strong issue with Uranus and the Jupiter in the 1st house. Pluto's there too, in the 1st house, with the South Node and the ascendant. The ascendant's conjunct Pluto, so it has a somewhat controlled or it's a strong personality, but it's often controlled or intense. Let's just call it. Okay. So Aries, Moon, Cancer Sun, Virgo rising. The impulsiveness of the Aries Moon is there, but the capacity to worry or to have to be busy or have to fix things or take care of things is there also. Okay. Just going over some things. Have the basic steps. So he's the seesaw pattern type. There. And now I'm not sure if we had this. No, I think this has changed from our previous divisions because it needs to. There's seesaw. Yeah, it's a seesaw. It's a seesaw anyway. You got it. Okay, so this is a seesaw, and really it's going to work above and below the horizon. It's going to be the seesaw going from the Moon, Jupiter, and it's up, and the Jupiter, Mars, Neptune below, between career and home, or between expressing or doing what I want to do, 3rd house, and doing what I have to do up above. So, okay, and the phase of the moon, there's the opposition. The moon's that's the waning phase. It's the waning half. It's not quite at the half moon yet. It's the waning gibbous moon. Okay, so it's coming off one's understanding to being receptive. It's the increasing sense of responsibility or sensitivity rather than the impulse. That's kind of contrary to the seemingly Aries impulsive moon. It's an impulse, but it's impulse to belong more, to be sensitive to more, to be with the increasing darkness. Okay, We talked about the sun, moon, ascendant already. Okay, so then we got to go through our points. And we have 2 I am, 2 I have, 2 I think, 2 I feel, 2, 3 I analyze, 1 I desire, 1 I balance, I desire, I understand. So it's spread out quite a lot, but just I analyze. Virgo rising is with all the planets there is the main thing. The other ones are predominant too. It's a strong mix. Daylight increasing 6, darkness increasing 8. So slightly more trying to belong than trying to do one's own thing. That's the Cancer on the Virgo side. The daylight is greater is 11. Darkness is greater 3. So there's a need to be independent. I'm independent. I'm doing one thing, but I'm trying to be more involved, more responsible, more. The darkness is increasing, but the daylight is strong greater. I got to do my own thing. I got to do my thing. I got to have a certain freedom to do this. Winter 0, spring 6, summer 5, autumn 3. So spring and summer are his high energy periods in the year. Okay. Cardinal fixed mutable, fairly even 5, 3, 6. So 3 fixed, not so fixed, more mutable than anything. Mutable and driving, not so fixed. Okay, but a bit of everything. And then fire, water, air, earth, 3, 3, 3, 5 earth. So the trying to be practical or down to earth is the strong issue. So a strong issue for a Cancer is more emotional with the Aries fire moon, and it's but the Virgo ascendant and the earth planets predominate are the stronger accentuations. So there's definitely a strong need to be practical. Masculine, feminine, 6 masculine, 8 feminine is a little bit more reflecting than projecting. Rulerships, nothing ruled by the sun. The moon rules is in the 2 planets ruled by the moon, 5 planets ruled by Mercury, 3 by Venus, 3 by Mars, 1 by Jupiter, 0 by Saturn. So his thinking and his mind and his intelligence, which is up in the 10th house, that's a strong focus. That as his thoughts change, everything else is going to affect him more than anything else. So now when we look at the house points, 3 identity, 2 expression, 2 partnership, 1 trust, 1 morality, 3 honor. That's it, honor and security. No, honor and identity are 2 strong factors here, with partnership and expression the next. Okay, rising 8, setting 4, a need to project more than react. Above 7, 5 below, a need to be out there and functional more than just being in my own self. It has to take the functional things will take a stronger demand or stronger attachment. Quadrants, intuition 5, thinking 3, sensation 4, feeling 0. So you have a Cancer. So Cancers are feeling people, sensitive people. So it's not like it doesn't feel. This is the feeling quadrant, the taking things in. So in terms of thinking, projecting, intuitively projecting, very strong, strongest. Thinking about the effects of his projections, 3, not so strong. Responding to other people's reactions to what he's done, strong, 4. But taking it personally is more difficult. They're going below in that 4th, 6th, 5th, 4th house quadrant of feeling. That's his weakest point. 8 angular, 1 succeeding, 3 cadence. So definitely here, whereas in the signs, we had 5 cardinal, 3 fixed, 6 mutable. Here we have, so it was 5 cardinal, 3 fixed, 3 fixed, 6 mutable. Here there's here we have the 8 angular, so it really strengthens the angular, the cadence next, the succeeding is still the weak element, the fixed is the weak element. So consistency is not the strongest thing. Driving at things is the strongest. And self 4, relationships 4, concerns 4, rewards 1. So here, fire and air are the stronger, earth and water are the weaker. So in the houses. So, okay. We're just touching on these things. This is, yeah, so this is the chart, and it puts the transits around it for October 8th for today. We don't usually work that much with it, but I just thought I'd show you. We can put it, you can do a chart off like this so you can see the planets in the houses and where they are around the chart. Okay, it's harder to figure out the aspects and things like that. It's easy to get diverted and get spread out with too much information. So we go right from the natal chart to the Saturn to see the Saturn cycles. You know, I'm just thinking for a second. Yeah, just before I do, I'm going to go back a minute. And so we saw the T-square, the Mercury is very prominent, highest point in this chart, but there's always puzzles between what I have to do, how I understand things, how I'm living in relationships. So between his identity and relationships and thinking about what he has to do, there's a big puzzle there. There's a lot of stress involved in those three things. That's his mostly mutable because it's the Virgo to the Gemini Mercury, strong Mercury in Gemini, quick thinker, good thinker, philosophical. But the moon in the 7th house, his memories and his basic needs day to day, and even relationships make demands on his thinking. But the Venus in the 9th house, Taurus, Venus in Taurus, and the sign it rules. So like that's 2 planets in the signs they rule. But Venus is opposed by Neptune and Mars. So the moon, okay, so before we finish the T-square, it's not just Mercury, Jupiter, Moon. The moon, it's also including Uranus. So Uranus adds the shocking, Uranus creates the innovative, unconventional understanding, which which stimulates the Mercury, which then challenges the basic needs, the relationships. So he likes to think for himself or do his own thing. You see how astrology would really light this up. But the Venus opposed Neptune and Mars. This is more complicated because this Venus is what you're attracting and Mars is what you're doing, and Neptune adds the confusion into it. So in his chart, in the 3rd house, knowing what to do and having the dreams, Mars, Neptune is the big dreamer. I want to do this, I got to do this, I got to take on this scheme, take on this dream, but it's opposed by Neptune, so it's difficult to get what you want. Mars, Neptune, Mars, Venus opposed tends to be poor timing, pushing a little too hard for what you want. Add Neptune, it magnifies it. It's running around doing everything to try and get what one wants and never quite doing it. So there's a puzzle around this between what I need to do, or perhaps between studying and taking on the studying and completing it or finishing it. And yeah, he has puzzles in 3rd house, 9th house, in-laws, relatives, even around education. He says he gets really enthusiastic, and then he can be very projective and very magically projective, and they're very evasive and aloof.